Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Do You Even Transform, Bro? Do you? Do you?
Do you?
Mi brother.
Joining us tonight, outside of our normal co-hosts, we have a few special guests in the building. Say what's up, Mr. Hurricane B. Flex, 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 flex.
What up? What up? What's up, guys? Happy to be here on a Tuesday night. Happy to see you guys. Always a pleasure.
Yes, sir. We always keep a seat warm for this guy. Shout out to also Mr. CRASHBOX himself, Mr. If You're Nasty, Mr. KRIS Pinkerton, everybody. Welcome to the show.
What's up, party people? It's Tuesday night. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Remember episode?
Yeah.
Welcome.
Oh,
Who are you again?
I really I don't know. Purveyor of fine goods services across
custom things.
Yeah, I'll show you some stuff that I'm working on. I think Scott will actually be kind of excited about it. Something he's actually been asking me to do for I think 3 years now. You know what it is. You know what
Love to hear a little sneak preview.
I'm actually 15 minutes away from the last piece being finished. So
whoa,
yeah.
we get my pocketbook ready then, huh?
Down the wire, it'll be hot off the press for sure.
Roll your change. Check those.
That's right, man. That's right. Yeah, you're gonna need it for. Yeah, listen, we got to figure out how to pay for these trips now. So we're gonna make it happen.
Never lie.
What's up, young Kim?
Up, man? And we also got Scott in the building. Say what's up to the people.
Hey, man, I'm here. I'm ready.
All right.
I'm punching.
Man, I feel like it.
Are you doing the Darth Rod thing this evening? What's going on?
Darth Rod? That's hot. I like that.
Your name is Darth Rod.
that reminds me, Pinkerton. We need to get that second half of that.
Yeah, we do. And there's a certain person whose house we were at that we don't need to have on there because man, he's sour.
He's so jaded.
Is that right? Is that right? Not everybody can appreciate an intellectual Star Wars. So
That's a guy.
I got you.
Listen, man, with a name like Darth Rod, I feel like that's the wrong Star Wars movie you guys are watching. So we also got Rusty.
Mommy, the box is bigger. Sorry. if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Rusty the mechanic, say what's up to the people, man.
I am the Rusty mechanic.
Campy McMotorsports. Wow, that's a mouthful, so to speak.
You like that one?
Derek B, what's up, dude? Say what's up.
What's up, everybody?
And this is your co-host for tonight, guys. So tonight, man, we're gonna be talking about Tariffs Part 2. Just like we did last time, and I knew something was missing. Let me get my tunes back on. Let me get them so.
There we go. Yeah, the mood wasn't right? It didn't. Feel right.
Yeah. It wasn't right.
The vibes were definitely off. Yeah.
We were off the rails. I mean, it's a typical Tuesday night, but I love to see it. We gave this disclaimer the last time we did a show on this topic, and I feel it's only right that we do it again. This show is about how tariffs themselves affect the collector space, how it can affect some of our personal lives as far as employment, but it is not about your favorite political party or your disfavorite, your unlikely political party, if that's the thing. So we're keeping their names out of it. We don't care about the letter that is in front of that person's name. We're just strictly keeping to the facts and how we've experienced these tariffs and how they've been affecting us as collectors and in some of our own professional lives. So Chat Squad, I just asked you very nicely to keep that stuff out of the chat. You will get a warning the first time if we see it. The second time, we got to boot you. We just got to keep it above board here. Cast members, because we had a slip up last time. We will not be dropping names.
I would like to apologize once again.
I just shouted so bad.
We were doing so good.
We were cruising through that, and then
damn it, Rusty!
And it happened to be the foreigner.
and I was even defending it. I was like, no, wait! I've got a point to make, and you were like, you said a bad word, Rusty. You have to go in the corner now.
Oh my God!
You need a timeout. Oh,
after the fact is hilarious, man. In the moment, I was like, "Oh, we're about to get canceled." Fun times, man. Fun
My
times.
bad.
Well, without further ado, man, let's go ahead and go back around StreamYard and see how everybody's week was so far. We're gonna start with our newest special guest, Mr. Chris Pinkerton. If you're nasty, man, how's it been?
Man, it's been good. Been kind of low key. Went to Charlotte for work a couple weeks ago for like our team meeting. Our team's like a new team. Although we all know each other, nobody was a stranger. But it's always better, we don't see each other every day or like ever. So maybe once or twice a year. So it's nice to get FaceTime with people. But Charlotte's a cool town. It's also one of those 4 or 5 block towns, if you know what I mean. You can stay downtown if you want. Yeah, we walked in one direction one time, and I'm like, oh, they have a mental health crisis in this town. Wow.
It was easy to see.
It was easy to see and smell, and but yeah, just honestly, like I've been my job has been very hectic. We'll get into that. Over the past year, hadn't really done much with the CRASHBOX stuff. Haven't like my equipment, like in my back shop, has stuff stacked on it. Like I haven't used it, just because I have not been posting anything or being active in any of the groups like that. Just haven't had it in me to do so. Just been trying to work a little bit on my collection space. Got rid of almost all my Mezcos now. I'm down to just a few.
See, man.
I'm waiting on a couple people. Huh?
It's odd to see. I've never seen it that bare.
Yeah. So my plan is to take this completely apart, and I want to build like a parking deck garage for all these 12 scale vehicles, and then the figures that go with them, because I have a ton of them, and I have others that I'm working on or have coming or whatever. So a lot of different stuff. I'm thinking about moving the Simpsons into a DTOF. They actually look really good. I tested a shelf out, so I got a lot of stuff I'm playing with. Actually finding time to enjoy it a little bit. Just been so hectic the past several years. So is this the part where you show like what you've got or what you've done or whatever?
Not quite yet. We getting there.
How many laps do you people take?
On your left.
Lap 1.
On your left.
No. Okay. Yeah. So
I know normally your arms are
that
tired from traveling.
Yeah.
They gonna get tired from these laps you got to run.
That's right. Well, yeah, and got the
Time for leg day.
got the rock box window. Was a short window. It was only 2 weeks. But we got almost exactly what I thought we would get. Like 7 more than I thought we would get. Actually, it ended up being 10 more because we had a couple stragglers we were able to put in at the very end. But got everything ordered now. Actually, a couple things have shipped, and I think I'm an idiot because we've been doing this for how many years? Like is this the 6th or 7th rock box we've done since I've lived here?
This is like the 7th. Yeah.
So
since you lived there, yeah, somewhere around it, I guess.
So Brian lives in a different state than I do, a state that does not have income
any tax
or sales tax. Mm-hmm. So I saved $100 on the t-shirt this year. I'm like, why have I never thought? And he's never thought of that. So because he comes here to build it all. Anyway, so fuck.
He's now got a new car that towed it all in.
Oh man.
Yeah, exactly.
System.
But ding.
Yeah.
All shipments going into the Brian Brink warehouse.
It's okay.
That's it.
In time.
Delaware. There he is.
Delaware has no taxes, really.
No state income tax.
Why there's there's a big reason why a lot of companies incorporate.
Yeah, you'll see that.
Yeah,
Delaware.
Everybody incorporates in Delaware.
One of the film company I worked for that was based in Dothan, Alabama, was a Delaware company.
Yep.
Adam and Eve.
MP was like, yo,
no, but the company I worked for was the largest purchaser of that type of media in the country at that time.
Hey,
yeah, the film industry.
Yeah, if we call it. Oh, speaking of the film industry, I have to send you a little something that happened over the weekend that I saw at a con. You're gonna get a kick out of. I'll send it to you after the show.
Okay,
Pretty cool, man. Pretty cool.
Nice.
But that's it for you, Pinkerton.
Yeah, man. I guess that's about it. Just
Yeah, we'll be
hang
back
out.
to you though, because I know you got some stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So let's go with
Laps.
Mr. Eric
Lap.
B. Flex, man. How you been, dude? It's been a minute.
I'm good, man. Good to see you. Yeah, we haven't got a chance to speak in a while. Sometimes in the chat or whatever, but be able to do it like this, face to face, actually hear and see you guys. It's always a pleasure. I've been good, guys. Low key, basically, doing my routine work and the workouts and coming home and making sure things are taken care of here. So as long as I'm breathing and I'm able to, do what I need to do, I'm a happy guy. I got to see my mom for Mother's Day weekend. You know what I'm saying? She actually came up from Virginia. The circumstances weren't great, but the fact that I got to see her, I felt like I got the gift for Mother's Day, and stuff like that. So, as far as like major things going on, like that's that was cool to get to see her earlier in the month. Got to hang out with my sister in Washington D.C. That was really, really nice. That was in April. So been having a good time, and then doing the podcast on Mondays and stuff as usual. It's always good to see the Realm fam and stuff like that. So always a pleasure to be invited here on Tuesday nights. Always happy to see you guys, like I said, and like I was last night, sipping on a little sun.
After
We'll see how we feel by the end of the night. But cheers, guys. Cheers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Real quick though, are you still on 2-a-days? You still working out twice a day?
Yes. Yeah, I'm still my 5 a.m. So 5 a.m. Yeah, I get up early. You know what I'm saying, in the mornings. Usually by 4:30, I'm up and then out the door. In the gym by 5, and then during my lunch break, I get in another solid 90 minutes and stuff like that. So it all contributes to the progress and stuff like that. I do shit like that actually, guys, because I like to fucking eat. You know what I'm saying? So
important.
My nutrition is pretty good, you know what I'm saying, but going a little extra like that kind of lets me, whenever I kind of if I want to have like a real soda or a candy bar every now and again, or a pizza and shit like that, like it doesn't really do much damage. So and like I said, I'm grateful for those things as well. So grateful for the progress, for the health, and how I feel, because at 45 years old, man, I feel like I feel and I look better than I did at 35, that I did at 25. You know what I'm saying? So
those knees still got a lot of miles on them.
Oh, bro, my knees are killing me. But dude, I did legs today, and I was hitting my 225 for like 4 or 5 reps for fucking. I did it for fucking 6 sets, and I was feeling good, like no pain, no aches. But those fucking sleeves on my knees fucking definitely helped. They definitely help. So
yes, sir.
So I'm feeling good, man. Thank you.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Now let's go to Darth Rod. How you been, man?
Good. Yeah,
I feel like I just saw you, bro.
I know. We got to hang out. We get to break bread together and have some good times. It was nice. So
I got you, E. Oh, let me fix my mic settings. Esteban saying
missed the conversation 2 weeks ago on whether what constitutes a transformer. Let me tell you, we're having that discussion again.
Yep.
Yes, I would need to join you on that.
There were 2 patsies that you brought on to shake their head or nod their heads at everything.
Yeah.
You said.
Just one of them didn't even want to talk about the topic, and the other one just stood there with his arms crossed, going, "I agree with what everything Aaron just said."
Don't hate. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Watch
it. That's what happens.
But yeah, so missed you guys. It sucks. Like every time I miss an episode, it kills me. But I'm resurrected. I'm back, and been spending all week long like working on my display room. I got some spotlights put up for the Star Wars ships, and it looks pretty phenomenal. And
that's coming out crazy, bro. Good job.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, and hung some additional ships, and then I got a whole like custom glass thing coming. I got this weird hole in the wall between my room and like the hallway and the stairwell out there, and it's a pass
I'm gonna
through.
need you to further elaborate. That sounds crazy already.
It's a pass through like arched area, and my HasLab Unicron fits perfectly in it. But the problem is that it's pass through, so my cats can come into my collection room, which I don't want.
Oh.
And so I'm getting a custom glass piece made for the front of that, so that it'll block the cats from coming and coming through. And yeah, so
Jesus Christ! All this to fucking stop some cats from fucking your shit up.
That's right.
I'm sorry. Are you blocking off like a pass through in your house for your collection?
It's not a house, but it is. It's like a little window in a hall.
It's like a window in a hall.
Oh, okay. I was thinking like a hallway,
like
pass
a little
through.
indentation that you can fucking put something.
Gotcha.
That's dope.
Exactly.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So he wants to keep the cats out, and Unicron and those.
So you're putting like a piece of glass on either side of that pass through. To put the,
so you're just gonna cover it. So the fucking cats would jump at that shit and be like, "Bang!"
Yeah. The reason why I went with 1/4-inch glass and tempered.
You have to put a camera on that shit to just see if they jump for it.
Cats.
But yeah, just just putting things together in here has been pretty much what I've been occupying myself with, and I finished up my Chinese class. The next one doesn't start for another week and a half, so I got some time to doodle around.
You learning Chinese? All right, Jen. All right. You gotta learn
Aren't you working
Chinese.
now? Don't you have a job?
I got that reference.
Yeah, my man. Yeah, he's working. All right, let's go to you, Rusty McCappers. Man, what's up with this name, dude?
Well, that's all part of the story which you were about to hear of my excellent last couple of weeks.
Story time with Rusty, guys. Everybody crowd around.
Also, everybody crowd around the campfire. It's story time. Yes, I was also very disappointed that I missed last week's episode due to the fact that somebody vandalized a building that housed the core of the internet that comes into our neighborhood, and we were out for 2 days. Thanks, whoever the fuck you are. Anyway,
that SOS Morse code internet from Canada,
right? It was, anyway.
Yo, what I'm about to say. I get fucked up like that.
Luckily, it did not interfere with my ability to buy the rock box. I have my rock box. I will be joining you down there in Fort Wayne, wherever the fuck it is. So yeah, you'll see the Rusty Mechanic down there. I am super excited to meet up with you guys because I missed the last thing that happened. But in the meantime, my Winnipeg Jets are now out of the NHL playoffs. So
I'm sorry.
My life is basically over. I don't know what to do with myself now. So no more hockey for me until next year because, no, that's not true. The Edmonton Oilers are still in, and we as Canadians really want to see the Stanley Cup come back to Canada.
Wait a minute. So you just get the jump from the Winnipeg Jets to the Edmonton
Oilers. You got it. That's right.
Rule against
That's
that,
right.
Bro. That's crazy,
there is a rule, but this year all is forgiven on the Canadian side because we just want the Stanley Cup on the north of the border this time. So
I'm sure I do.
Right? Because fucking Toronto can't seem to get it together either. So whatever.
Toronto ain't nothing but Detroit light, man. Relax.
Anyway. Otherwise, I've been like puttering around. So I don't know. Anyway, I'm putting around the house. I got the pool ready. Had a deck built on the back of the house. Finally, we've only been living in the house for like 5 years, and we just never got around to actually building an actual deck off the back of the house. So we've got an actual space that we can hang out in the backyard now, which is nice. Had some landscaping.
Yeah, I thought maybe you needed a place to store some snow. That's why you built the deck.
Yeah, I mean, we can put it under the deck, right? That's typically where we hide our snow in the summer is around that area. And I will tell you that immediately after, and Eric, you're the closest one to me, I think. So immediately after the deck was built, how's your weather been? Because it's been fucking cold and wet up here. It's been
it's been nasty the past few days.
Mid-40s, low 50s. Like, get fucked. It's the end of May, right? Yeah. Where's my spring? Like, I'm getting ready for fall here. You know,
I'll get into it, but like I was in Orlando for like a week, so I came back to straight pool. It was nasty.
Anyway, the weather's been absolutely terrible. I hate it. Which gets me into the motorsport part because we were supposed to go camping this weekend. We have a long weekend here in Canada that just went past for the Queen's birthday called Victoria Day. And so we had planned to go camping, but the weather was so bad Like the forecast was so bad. It was rain. It was going to be 40 degrees. We were like, we're not going camping. So we canceled it. And then like an idiot, I was having there was a motorsport event with my local club on Sunday. And I decided, well, I'm not going camping. I'll go to motorsports. And I was fucking miserable all day.
Yeah.
Rain.
Was it wet?
Cold. It was wet.
Exactly.
Cold. There was zero traction out there. I got videos coming up. You guys want to check it out on my Rust Mechanic Drives channel. I spun out my Mini. I don't know how many times. I could not get that car to go where I wanted it to go. I got a lot of good clips though. Stuff just of me going everywhere but straight. It's fantastic.
I'll wait till Pinkerton comes back to ask this question. So I'm gonna wait.
Okay.
Keep going.
Fair enough. And I would like to say excitedly, though, that my YouTube channel, speaking of my YouTube channel, and my followers on Facebook has absolutely exploded since I changed up my formats. And again, Scott, I want to thank you again for all your feedback and encouragement and all that good stuff. But I got
all I gotta say is this latest attempt that you have at
Jesus
your
Christ.
channel, man. I mean,
That video was wild.
It's a little too, you know, it's a little.
Which one? Which one?
He still didn't click on it. He still didn't click on it.
The one that you, okay, all right. The one that you posted.
With the udders.
What? That was weird. I don't know why you're sending me that shit. That was fucking weird.
Because the dude kind of looked like you, man.
No, that's completely untrue.
All skinny white guy with a long
that has ever been told on the internet.
Long gray beard.
That guy, because of the beard? I'm going to go shave my beard right now. I swear to God. I'll be back in 5 minutes if that's what you guys think. Anyway, so I passed 1,700 follower or subscribers on my YouTube channel, and I'm over 9,000 followers on my Facebook
Let's
page.
go. Congratulations.
It's beyond my expectations. So thank you, everybody out there who has followed me or subscribed to me or all that stuff. I appreciate you all. And that has been the last few weeks for me.
Yeah, man.
I think that's been a lot.
So Pinkerton, could you ever imagine when you finally met Rusty that he would be able to fit in a freaking Mini Cooper?
I don't see how that's possible.
They're big, man. They got a lot of space in them. You'd be surprised. By the way, sorry, I am going to address the question that Dante just threw up there. Because this month has been so insane and I was late with the draw due to other stuff, I'm not doing a raffle this month. I have not been able to get my shit together. Eric, I apologize. I've not been able to get my shit together to get a raffle done for this month.
Damn it, Rusty.
I know I failed you all. I will definitely pick it back up in June, but the beginning and middle of May has just been absolute insanity. I didn't even get a chance to figure out like what figures I wanted to buy to put into the raffle for you guys. So I'm going to look into it more at the end of the month, and I will have an announcement at the beginning of June. So pay attention to my Facebook page for June. We're going to skip May, but we'll be back at it in June, I promise.
For penance, you eat 3 Nanaimo bars and stay 12.
I will, yes, whatever he just said, I will do all of those things.
Nanaimo bars are a Canadian thing on the West Coast.
Game of Thrones style. Game of Thrones. Strip them naked and fucking walk them through the Canadian province.
Shame.
Shame.
Eric B, you still on mute. Can you hear me?
Still on mute.
Yeah.
Can't hear you. How am I supposed to get my camera? I will hook you up. I promise. I will hook you up next week.
We hooked him up.
In there, brother. Any minute.
All right, man. How's been your week?
Oh, my week's been good, man. Nothing really exciting to go over. Yeah, my week's been cool. I'm just happy to be back here. You know, it's always an exciting time for Tuesdays. Really looking forward to June, man, because that's gonna be a hot month for all of us in every shape or form. And you know, I'm really looking forward to it, man, because I'm actually taking that whole month off, with the exception of probably the first week of June. I'm taking a whole month off.
Wow.
Whole month, because everything that I'm dealing with work, I'm literally still dealing with work. I can't wait till June. I'm just gonna tell you that. I'm gonna put this phone. I'm gonna leave it on my desk. We traveling. We going places, and I'm just like, yo,
not available. Not available.
You know how you get so mad and then you want to do the middle and then you end up doing this? That's how much I'm looking forward to, because I need my middle finger back. So yeah, I can't wait till June, and because after June is over, I'm gonna be so chill.
I heard about people taking your man card, but never taking the middle finger.
The middle finger card. That's what's up, man. Well, for me, man, it's been crazy these past couple weeks. So for many of you that know, me and my family, my daughters play chess competitively through their school. And I can proudly say that I have 2 national champions in the house. 2 national champions.
Really?
Incredible, bro. Congrats.
I missed it. Yeah. Good job.
Thank you. So we traveled down to Orlando for what they call Super Nationals, and it only happens every 4 years, where there's a national tournament that happens annually. Super Nationals is where they include the middle school, the high school, and the elementary school all in one place. So it was over 5,000 kids. But my kids still play in the elementary school section. So my youngest daughter, Kennedy, who many of you know, not just because she's my kid, but because of the sickle cell stuff as well. Her team placed 5th out of 42 teams, which was fantastic. And then her older sister placed 9th out of 39 teams, and she played up. So she played in a tougher competition level than she's even rated for. So it was good to see. And then after that, being in sunny Orlando, why not visit Universal Studios? So I got a chance to go back there. Took the kids there, had a good time. My brother and sister-in-law flew in from California with their kids, so we had a chance to kind of stay in this villa as a family. It's like a condo, but I mean, some of you guys seen the pictures. They had a whole Star Wars themed arcade section in the room, like in the condo that we were staying in. Outside of the arcade that they had on premise. So it was just cool, man. It was a good time. Got a chance to do that. Just recorded my first official episode of Now and Then with Scott and Bobby on Monday, so that was fun. Got a chance to do that. So be on the lookout for that soon, whenever that drops on his Patreon. So that was fun. And then yeah, man, just been preparing for this. So been reading up on some things and getting more acquainted with that, and have to stay on top of it because of the job that I do, and we'll get into that a little later. But that's pretty much it, man. For me, that's pretty much it. So guess we will get into the segment where people get to tell us if they picked up anything. Did you transform, bro? No, that's Monday. That's trademark. Let's not step on that.
Doing? Yeah. You send him to the, what do we call that? The cornfield, whatever. Like,
yeah, I don't want no problems. We don't want no smoke. All right, man. Well, let's start with where hair can be flexed, man. Did you pick up anything Transformer related? Did you transform?
No toys, but I did show off on ETR last night that I did get the Volume 1 hardcover of the Skybound
nice.
Transformers.
Indian.
Yep,
it's still Transformers adjacent. So yeah, that counts.
Yeah, it counts.
Yeah, I put it back on my bookshelf. I had it right here last night. I put it back.
Good.
But awesome. You know what I'm saying? If anybody hasn't read those Skybound issues, I haven't kept up with the Void Rivals and the G.I. Joes, but it's all like an interconnected universe, kind of like the way it was back in the day with Marvel. And that Transformers comic book from, what is his name? Darren Warren Johnson or whatever, incredible artist and writer. His art's been great. I think he did the first 6 issues and then somebody else took over after, but the storyline's been good. Kind of out of the box, you could tell they're wrestling fans too, because those robots and those fights, they do a lot of suplexes and stuff like that. It's been pretty cool. So I like those references in there. But that was the only thing I picked up figure wise. I'm mainline only, so I'm a slave to this Hasbro schedule or whatever. So I'm still waiting on my fucking Silver Bolt. You know what I'm saying? I was supposed to fucking have my Titan class fucking Star Optimus Prime, and I don't know, maybe I'm assuming maybe because of the topic we're going to be talking about tonight, maybe that's why these figures aren't in our hands right
now. And
so that's it for me, guys. That's it.
All right, man. All right, Mr. Pinkerton, if you're nasty, come on. It's a long time since you've done this.
Well, yeah. So I'm thinking, as far as I think the last I got I've got the first two Constructicons, and was it Air Raid that came out 1st? That's all I've got.
Of which line? Verse 2 of which? Vans Toys?
Oh, we're chug thugging over here, buddy.
Oh.
Yeah, come on, man. I must have been
So
like
the
I mean, I do have this.
Look at that. That's an impressive display.
Yeah,
I love it.
Thank
bro.
you.
It's
It's a good start. It's a good start.
dude.
So, and I guess the last thing I got third party, it was probably the first third party thing I've gotten in years. Was I got that chug scale New Age Megatron.
Oh yeah,
Chuggish scale. It's close enough.
Yeah. It's chug
Yeah.
adjacent.
Hey, some people are shorter than others, man.
Chug adjacent. That is true. That is true.
So it doesn't scale with that Studio Series Optimus, but it's pretty good with the Earthrise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think that's what they were thinking.
That's what they were. That's all they knew to do at the time. But I mean, you can obviously pose those figures, and they don't have to be near each other.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or pose them where they're at the same height. So, other than that, like honestly, I haven't been buying a lot. Period.
Did you buy the community?
Oh, actually, no, I didn't. I didn't yet. I think I'm just gonna read comics digitally from now on, man. Like, I just like I have a lot. Like, the last Expanse Kickstarter for comics, I bought all the nice hardcovers, and I read it digitally because it was easier to read.
It's easier.
It's easier to read.
That hardcover on the shelf, though, like like, that's my preferred format. I'm not gonna get like the
no
floppies anymore, but
I get it. But like, I gave away almost all my physical comics to Mason's buddy who collects. So,
nice.
I've been, although I have been doing like buildings dioramas in the shop, I have been 3D printing a ton of stuff. And I know some of you had seen these little crates that I was making. And our buddy Sam, that was over a couple weeks ago from the UK, was over, and he was talking to me about these things would be great if you added one thing to it. And he said if you could make a lid. So I just went ahead and made a lid. And now we have a box you can put your
accessories
in. Sure, like your Blocky's hands, right?
Yeah.
What a great idea.
Or even, let's say you're setting them up
out of those.
Like a storage scene, right, where you're in a warehouse and you're trying to shoot somebody or whatever. You can have weapons in there, like extra weapons. Like, that's cool, man. There's so many options.
Come back every once in a while and see if a new one has spawned inside.
That's right. I probably have 7, maybe 50 of the crates built that don't have the bottoms on them. So I'm like, maybe I should just build it, because the tops all come off. They're pretty much all like they just pop together. Maybe I'll just design a generic bottom piece to put on all of them. So, anyways, and I can't quite get to my collection of the finest figure made ever by any shampoo bottle company in the world. But of course, I'm talking about the one and only Experience. Now, I want you gentlemen to make sure that you admire the delicacy and the absolute pristine condition of these plastic version 1 thighs we're rocking with. Don't make me go get the other 2 versions or the prototype. So along these lines, for those that don't know, the Realm of Collectors has over the years created 4 variant versions of this figure.
Yes, sir.
And at I believe at BotCon 22. No, 23. When were we in Jersey?
22.
23.
22 was
23.
23 was
22 was Nelson.
Yeah, 22 was Nashville. 23
Nashville. Okay. And I had built, so we had 3 clear versions of the figures, and I built some dioramas for the reveal, and had been asked several times about it, and never got around to it. And I came to a realization that I can 3D print these things instead of laser cutting them. So I have some cool stuff to show here. You know, our first character that we had was Nelson, which is a shattered glass version of our favorite hero. So we have this nice.
That's a nice package.
Yeah.
Nice
colors on there.
Yeah.
And then we have our clear ollie, just the orange clear with I call it the triminic ollie. And also, of course, we have our normal, ready to go colorway. So we want to make sure that we have something that goes with him as well, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't want to leave him out. And then finally, for the few, right? We still don't know who everyone is that has one, but there is a very limited. Hey, raise your hand if you have a clear ollie.
I sure wish I did.
I do.
Goodness gracious. I actually just found out, or remembered rather, I know someone who has two rock boxes that have figures in them that just kind of bought them out of here you go, here's some money.
Yes,
So it might be an interesting botcon. And then finally, if you do have that one, I didn't want to leave everyone out, so we've got a nice white one here. So top piece just came off the printer. So I'm probably gonna offer these maybe to have picked up at the botcon. Got to talk to the business lady about that. So. It's definitely something we're going to have available. And we may even sell the files because I know there's a lot of us in the realm of creators that have their own printers that might want to do something with it too, or something like that. And one other thing I wanted to show is shout out to Sam, because Sam was at TFUKCon. I think. Yes, I'm sorry. It's a hard acronym. And they Blocky sponsored it, and he was able to show some diorama stuff off with Blocky. So I show up, able to get his logo on something, just kind of as a test.
That's what's up. Shout out to Sam.
Yep.
Good job.
So Sam, listen, Sam, if you're watching, I told you what printer to buy. World is yours. World is yours. I'm gonna get it,
man, because those dioramas will work for other things. Like, if you're coming to BotCon, Annie still has a few of those shards left, so that'll go with that Willie Nelson at that in that background and be a perfect fit. So you have options there, or even with your GI Joe classified stuff. I know this is a Transformers or converting robot related show, but like even some of your classified figures will fit great with that. As a background.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, it's pretty endless what colors you could do on this, right? There's, there's within reason. If it's a color I had, I've got some options for folks. So I just want to show that off since it's Transformers related. I know Scott was one of the ones that was on me about it. So got to tweak a couple things on my prototypes here, and we should be good to go. So
yeah, man, that's dope. That's dope, man. Love to see it. Love to see it, man. Well, let's go ahead and, since you spoke them up, might as well get the dark side itself in the building. What about you, bud?
All right. What to start with here? Well, we'll start with this guy.
Second
half of the dynamic duo from Unique Toys.
Oh no!
Who's that from, Scott?
Why did you want those guys?
Oh no! I'm sorry. Unique. Did you say Unique Toys?
Yes, sir. Yes,
I didn't know they still existed.
Yep.
Skids. Which one is that? Skids or Mudflap? Which one?
It don't matter. He shouldn't have it in the first place, right?
Is that the race? Is that the racist one or the other one?
Sure.
Both of them are the racist one. That's the funny thing about it.
Well, if we're grading on the curve,
even I was offended watching that movie.
No. It is all good, but I had to dig on that one because that joint, man, yo.
Oh yeah. I'm a fan of the movie figures, which you guys know. I think that it has an incredible piece of the Transformer evolution. It plays a vital role in the bots that we're getting today. All right, and so last time I was here, which was a month ago, I was on a Vinyl Tech.
Yes, show me.
So we picked up Meister in red. We picked up
Meister in blue.
Tracks in yellow.
So dude,
whoa, you gotta let us look at these, man. You gotta
look at them. And then Dead End.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay.
Listen,
Viper.
back in the day, I had an itch for these things, and they look great because they're like officially licensed vehicles. But then the bot modes, like a lot of the bot modes, like weren't the greatest. Like
That is also true.
I'll be honest with you guys. I like those is part of what pulled me back into Transform. MP10 came out.
100%.
Those scaled with MP10. I had a custom trailer some dude in Canada made for me. And I had a really cool display. And then I sold all that shit. I had all those and had all the what are those? The Takara reissues that were like the book styles.
Yeah.
I had like the first 20 of those.
Too.
And I sold all that to start my wrestling company.
Yeah. And I got those. I actually got those signed by Pat Lee. And they're worth nothing now. So yeah. But yo, let me see that yellow tracks again, man.
Yeah, but those, I mean, just the fact,
like
you know, the licensed vehicles and stuff like that. Like, at that time, I feel like we were kind of like starved for that kind of stuff.
These still hold a place because, like, their interiors, for those of you who came along after these were released, this was 2004 through 2007.
Yep.
There was a total of 20 molds released, or 20 versions released, and they have fully like detailed interiors. You look inside the interior and you can't, like, it's not a bunch of robot parts. It looks like a regular car, and that's what makes these things so amazing. Yes, they had to. They had to sacrifice in some cases, but honestly, the large majority of these vehicles, their bot modes are just fine.
I mean, they were just original takes, like, you know what I'm saying, like, and I always advocate for stuff like that. I'm like, it doesn't always have to be G1, right? Like, you know,
I can distinctly remember going in Target looking for the smoke screen, and I just remember, you know, that little adrenaline rush. I'm like, oh my God, there it is. And my other memory from that line is, I think it was the first time, like, and I don't remember how it worked back then, if it was part of the Transformers Club or whatever, but there was a black, I think it was a black Jaguar. Nemesis Prime. No, the Nemesis Prime. It was
Ravage.
No. The black Nemesis Prime. It was the black.
The black Ram truck. Yeah. And it was like probably one of the first like panicked buying of things I've ever done on the internet, because that was like one of those. It's gonna come out, you know, everybody. It was gonna crash the servers, and it was an exclusive.
FDC exclusive, and it was also
that's where, and that's where the line kind of got bad, because a lot of the ones at the end were exclusives as well. Like there was a couple of them. There was a Rumble. I think Rumble and Ravage were both Walmart exclusive.
Yeah,
they had US, sounds right.
They had a Ravage. They had two Ravages.
Yeah, they had
Jaguar. That was a real Jaguar.
There's a lot in and around Vinyltech and alternators that it might even be worthy of a
players.
Episode.
Yeah,
just to think.
So I was just thinking that, actually, and you got the KISS players in there too towards the end. And are there versions that are? I see you're doing the Vinyltech, the Japanese ones. Are there alternators that were only released as alternators that weren't in the metal bodies?
Yes, I think that the Ford GT was only released.
Wheeljack.
Wheeljack. The actual mold was released under Grimlock in Vinyltech. Right. But I don't think that the Mirage got a Vinyltech release with the diecast. We got the Mirage, the US Mirage, and then we got a KISS Players Rodimus.
Okay.
You said there was 20 figures, but I think there was 24 alternators.
You're correct. You're correct.
So there was some at the end, like those Walmart exclusives that weren't Vinyltech. They were alternators only, plastic only.
Yeah, they were repaints though.
Yes.
The Ford GT was the only one that actually wasn't released in Japan as a Japanese version. Like even the truck had a Japanese black exclusive release.
The Nemesis.
Yeah. All right, and then final two is I've been on this APC kick. They've been redoing these Prime figures, and so picked up RC.
RC's great, man.
Just a beautiful mold.
Yep. That RC is freaking gorgeous, and they're
That's like
doing an
A1.
excellent job with that line.
A1. Yep.
Yeah, this was the first edition release,
Yeah.
and then and for whatever reason she came with a pink head. I mean, I get it, RCG1, but why pink head? Like,
Right.
They put out a pink version of that figure, so I think it was a different head sculpt than what came out with that like original.
Oh, so it's supposed to go with
pink
that.
version of it. Yep.
okay, all right, got you.
Nice.
And then picked up a PC Wheeljack, which actually came with multiple heads, with the faceplate and the not faceplate, and then came in with a second set of swords that was way better.
Okay.
And then just some of the differences on it. All of these were hollow parts in the original toy, and they're not hollowed out anymore. So it's definitely an upgrade to the toy that and some articulation in the fingers and whatnot. So anyway, great stuff. Good stuff.
Nice.
Dude.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, man. We're moving right
Moving that
along. We got Mr. Rusty the Mechanic. What did you transform, bro?
Hello. In absolute protest of that last episode that I missed, I'm sticking with my non-transforming figure line, and I will be showcasing them here. Again, that MDLX
Not Transformers,
line,
you can't put them here anymore.
I know, right? That's
Right.
apparently
That's
a thing.
not what I said. Relax.
That's not this
Relax.
episode. We're not going down this rabbit hole. Okay. Anyway,
Relax.
I am 1,000% addicted to the MDLX line.
great.
So in a weird circumstance, this was sitting on Shozi's website. I know, Eric, you hate Shozi. This was sitting on Shozi's website in the wrong location on their website, and I found it accidentally on sale for some reason, probably because they don't have it in the right spot on the website. But yeah, I got this guy for an absolute steal, and I'm
And you didn't hook the rest of us up?
loving what now?
And you didn't hook the rest of us up with this special deal that you found?
Who else is collecting this?
Just like
He's
a
like,
Canadian.
I'm gonna buy this for myself.
Anyway,
No, I
Rusty.
Rusty, I have several of those. I need
Yeah.
to get that one and the Starscream.
Jazz. You got the Jazz?
Okay.
go to
Oh, and the Jazz. No, I don't. I have Megatron, couple Primes, and Bumblebee.
oh, dude, you gotta
Yeah.
pick up the Jazz. Jazz is
Yeah, I need to get them.
They're
Maybe
reissuing
it's something I'll
them.
get at the show.
Yeah. That Sideswipe, if you go on the Shozi's website and go to the upper right corner and
No.
type in-
You tell your castmates, and then they can roll it out if they
Oh,
need
I
to.
see. Okay.
Yeah,
there
I'll
you go.
message you later, Pinkerton, and I will let you know
Nice.
all about it. Continuing the non-transforming line. So I was going to do this because I had a lot of fun with it in the draw that I did a couple of months ago. I was going to do this a couple of weeks ago in the raffle draw that I was doing, where I was just going through blockies and just opening them up to see what was in them. So I actually picked up. This is from a while ago, though. This is like a Galaxy version 1, which I think came out a
Okay, the
year
very first
ago.
set.
Yeah. But anyway, it was out there, and I grabbed it, and I was planning on opening it up on the raffle that I did. But due to things that happened where I scheduled it at 4 o'clock and then had to reschedule it for 8 o'clock and then actually did it at 9 o'clock, I never actually got to open this up. So I will do that eventually. But yeah, like those blockies are a lot of fun. The little model kit figures are a ton of fun to mess around with, and I find it actually surprising that like with the non-transforming conversation, everybody seems okay, like super okay with these blocky figures, but they're not okay. Like you guys said it on that show. Dude, the number of views that I get on my blockies videos.
You can't use the word everybody. when you
Blockies
talking
were
to me.
nice.
Right?
Blockies.
Yeah.
No, listen.
Oh.
Hey, listen.
I don't get it.
I thought they were goofy, and like Derek said
Until
that
you
we're
play with
going.
them.
Well, I came over to Derek's house, and we had that little challenge race and put them together, and I'm like,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is fun. And
Yeah.
guess what?
Yeah.
I was in an All Time Toys. Shout out to All Time Toys for stocking blockies, and me and Sam and Brian bought about $40 worth of them damn things and brought them home and put them together. And I've actually got them lined up on my rail around the stairs right now. And I
Nice,
want to go get some more. Damn it,
They have a
Uh-huh.
charm to them, man. They have a charm to them.
they do.
All right,
and,
well,
and hey,
talk
what
to me
that
around
Starscream?
NJPC.
I'm sorry that that sound wave that's coming out. I don't know
I'm
how
getting
you
it.
buy that, but I'm
getting
getting
it.
Oh
You're
yeah, I
finding
do.
them
I got
Oh,
the
yeah.
Optimus and the Megatron. I still got to put them together. I'm gonna do
That's
that.
the same with me. I bought them too.
Oh,
I still
see,
haven't had a
okay,
chance to
I
put them
missed those.
together. But
I
anyway,
might not
those are nice, dude. Get them. They're like Chuck scale when you put them together, but they're nice.
But anyway, like you made the comment, right, that like they blew me up in the comments of the MDLX Jazz video that I did, and but the blockies, everybody's like amazing, love it, want to get more, right? So it's a weird, right? It's a weird dichotomy of like if you can't put it together or do something with it, then it's unacceptable. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's another conversation we can have another time. And then finally, the figure that I was most excited to pick up that showed up a couple weeks ago, Bingo Toys. Jesse.
Now that's a nice one.
Right. And I got to tell you that like I picked this up, right, because, you know, we're all kind of excited about the Technobots coming, right? And I was like, let's see what Bingo Toys has got, right? Let's see what's the quality, like, what's the build like. I gotta tell you, man, this is a solid figure. Like, it's solid plastic, solid joints. It's good. So I'm super excited now about the Technobots when they come out. You know, so but that's it. That's all the stuff that I picked up in the last couple of weeks.
All right, man. Well, I'm gonna try to speed this along. Let's go to Mr. Derek B. Did you transform, bro?
You will be able to continue to speed along. I ain't got nothing. Look, I'm still waiting for BBTS to let us know what's going on with this Metroplex.
Oh yeah, Metroplex.
So yeah, I'm still trying to hold out and try to see what's going on with that. So
I mean,
it's all good.
That big
getting nothing until after June.
All good. Well, I did get something. I got my MVC.
Yes.
Where'd you pick that up from?
On the way.
Toy Dojo.
Nice.
Well, I got it on order from Toy Dojo too, but mine is not.
It's any day now. Oh,
you live too far away.
If it's there. Check your email, because sometimes my emails don't come across all the time for them. So I had to search and I found it. And there you go. All right, guys. Well, that is probably one of the longest Did We Transform Bros in a long time.
There's 6 of us, so yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but we got to do some housekeeping first before we get into our topic, man.
Do it.
So this episode is brought to you by our good buddy Nick the Toy Guy. Head on over to nickthetoyguy.com for all of your Transformers, third-party, and Masterpiece needs, as well as action figures. He does have some action figures there as well. So if you're looking for some stuff in stock, why don't you head on over there to nickthetoyguy.com. Don't forget to use our promo code DYETB10. That's DYETB10 to get 10% off your entire order. And don't forget to combine that with code free ship to get free shipping on rates under $10. So again, head on over to nickthetoyguy.com and don't forget to use our promo codes.
That's dope.
All right. So let's get back in line here.
Out of curiosity, does anybody know if Nick is coming to BotCon with the rest of us?
I don't believe so. I don't believe so. All right. I think everybody's back in the Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Well, without further ado, Scotty, you can go ahead and pull up your slides. Go ahead and share it. I'll pull it up here in a second. We're going to go ahead and get into tonight's topic. So we thought it'd be appropriate to revisit the tariffs conversation, especially given the drastic change that has happened in just about a month's time here. But again, we want to give the disclaimer. This is not about anybody's political views, your favorite political figure, the one you hate the most. None of that matters tonight. This is all about what's important to us and how this affects collecting. As well as some stories and some real life experiences from some of us on the show who deal with this in our professional lives as well. So Scott, I'll let you start and then we'll go ahead and send it over to Pinkerton, who has a pretty interesting point of view on this.
Alrighty.
Man, I gave you 20 minutes.
Is he sharing yet? I don't understand.
Damn.
Shouldn't it be in the studio, ready to go? Just click a button.
All right, and then hit that full screen for me if you can. I think we should be good from there. Actually, I might need to do. Oh, my bad.
I'm getting nauseated from all this moving around. Could you slow things down a bit?
You got it.
There we go. All right, let's try that. How's that?
All right, so we'll just briefly go through some of the things that we talked about last time. We don't need to rehash it all because we're kind of here for the updates and also for additional points of view. But we went through, what it looked like to basically import a T-shirt, which I know a lot about because I'm in that business or have been in that business in past roles that I filled. And so we went through that. So I want to concentrate really on what it looks like to us in the fandom community. This is based on Scavenger from Fans Toys, and it is based on some assumptions because I don't have I'm not actively importing these toys anymore. I did it back in like 2015 when like the MMC Predacons were coming out, and so the rationale for the 30% markup from is based on what that was back then. It could have changed by now. I'm sure it has to some degree, but I'm just doing it.
Yeah, I dabbled in this space enough to figure out I didn't want to do it anymore, and it was it was about 40, but 30s. Yeah, it's in the ballpark for sure.
Yeah. And that's like, is that 40% ex China cost or 40% markup after your landed costs are factored in?
Oh, that was landed.
Okay. All right. So
this is some logistics in there. Yeah.
Yeah. This is 30% based upon the landed costs. And so, yeah, we can even, adjust it a little bit there, but we have various scenarios here, which we talked about last time. So just briefly go through them. This is an example of why Chinese retailers in the past with the de minimis exemption could send you stuff and it'd be cheaper than U.S. retailers, is because they didn't have to pay import duty or tariff through the de minimis exception for anything under $800. And so that's why it came to you basically, a lot less expensive. Whereas U.S. retailers have to pay that duty, and the duty and tariffs. This was actually don't take. I screwed this one up, so don't even look at it.
Delete.
Delete. This is so. What I would tell you is that action figures have a 6.9% base duty on them, and in the past, I had depending on what you classify your goods at coming in the port is what is the duty that you pay. There's a couple things you can lie about what it is.
Happens all the time.
It happens all the time.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And so you'll pay a less of a duty. You can also lie about the value of those goods on the commercial invoice, which is what the tariff and duty is paid for. So if it cost you $100 to get it from the factory, you could say it cost me $25, and you're paying duty on the $25 until U.S. Customs and Border Patrol find out what you're doing, and then you're done. Like, not only from the fines, but also from ever trying to import anything and again without having an anal rectal exam with your goods. And so it's in your best interest not to lie, because it's really short-term gain for long-term loss. And that's why most of the U.S. companies have follow the rules, because we've had a reliable and trustworthy system in the past. So with the duties post 2018, so I like I said, I classified them 6.9% with action figures. However, things have changed. There is a classification now that applies to these toys that has 0% duty on our Fans Toys stuff and on our robots. And so you can import it under that HTS code without much trouble. So therefore, I don't have any duty here. But post 2018, as
long as it's under $800.
Correct. No. That's the duty rate. That's the base duty rate on any good imported into the U.S. Even over the $800. This classification of goods is now no longer has a duty on it from China. However, tariff is a different story. We had a 10% tariff that was applied in 2018 on all goods coming from China, or a vast majority of the goods coming from China. There was hundreds and hundreds of HTS codes that were included in these tariffs, including our toys. And so therefore that 10% is reflected here. And you can see why, you know, there was just a basic increase to that cost at retail of about $20 between a Chinese retailer and a U.S. retailer for the last several years. Post April 9th or April 2nd or 4th or whatever it was, what did he call it? Liberation Day. The tariff went to 145%. The result of that being, if the entire tariff was passed through to the customer, a toy that basically previously would have cost us $192 now costs us $441 to import. And now here's the kind of expanded conversation is, well, now it's we have a 90-day quote unquote relief at 30%. Now that 30% is still a very sizable tariff.
Agreed.
We talked last time about the fact that most companies, if they have single digit profit margins after EBITDA, their EBITDA is in the single digits, that's actually very that's good. It's great. But the moment that you lay on a 20% tariff on top of the 10% already, it's going to cause you to raise prices or lose money. You don't have a choice. It's one or the other. Or you're lying about what you're importing in order to not pay the tariffs, right? So that pass through at 100% with the 30% tariff results in that toy from a 192, which we were used to paying prior to April 9th to 229. Of course, it does take some time to get the goods across the water, and you pay for it when it's imported into the country. You don't pay for it when it leaves. So a lot of the goods that was already here obviously are pre-tariff. But we're just now starting to see some of these goods come into the country and hit shelves that are post-tariff goods.
But before there was, if it was on the boat and stamped before May 2nd, and it was already left the port, then those were also exempt as well. Correct?
So the exemption, which was 9903, I think, which is it had to be on the vessel of departure by 12 a.m. April 9th. If it was loaded onto that vessel prior to that, it didn't pay the higher 145% tariff. Anything after April 9th, the 145% tariff was applicable once it reached the U.S. So here's a good example. I have a shipment right now that's coming that hit the port on the 10th of May. Trump announced his Sorry. There was an announcement of a relief that came like Sunday of that weekend, and then the 14th. But the actual executive order wasn't signed until the 14th. So this is now getting really into the weeds of things here, because I've kind of tried to keep it pretty surface. But the tariff is applicable when the goods clear the wet port. What is a wet port? Wet port is like Houston, LA, Seattle, Jersey, like anything when it's coming off the ship. That's the wet port. Okay. It is possible for me to unload those goods and clear them in, like, let's say Dallas, which is landlocked. It doesn't matter that I'm clearing them in Dallas. It matters about it clearing the wet port when it cleared the wet port as to what duties I pay. However, I was able to skirt the 145% tariffs with this shipment because what I did was I contacted my freight forwarder and I had them throw that shipment into a bonded warehouse. A bonded warehouse is what's called an FTZ, or free trade zone. It is a place where you can place your goods for up to 5 years and not have to pay duties or tariffs until you take it out of the warehouse. And in those cases, you pay based upon when you take it out of the warehouse.
Yeah. And Chicago is one of those places. Like Chicago
there's lots of
has it.
bonded warehouses around the country. In fact, I worked for a company before that had a bonded warehouse that was a part of our infrastructure. So, but anyway, that's some really deep in the weeds stuff right there. But
all right. Well, let's take a pause here and go to Mr. Chris Pinkerton. Let me take this off real quick.
Yeah, thank you. I'll stop sharing there.
Yeah. All right.
So sorry, before we do though, I mean it's significant to know, right? That sorry, Scotty, what was the original cost of the figure, and then ended up being 226 even with the
172.
172 goes to 226.
Yeah, which is really in line with about where you are with China, right? When we were exporting those up until April, right? It's about 180 we were paying for a Fans Choice figure out of China.
Yeah, not terrible. So Pinkerton, you work in an industry that's very similar to mine, but you deal with one particular side of things that I don't get to touch often, and that's the part side of things. So you want to share your experiences of what you've been dealing with, what you've had to tackle over these past few weeks?
I deal with a goddamn customer, so the engineers don't have to. If anyone knows what that's from, you get a red stapler. By the way, you get a red stapler.
There we go. You have one on deck.
Story about that I'll tell another time. So this is how tariffs have impacted my job. So I don't even have to be specific. I work in the transportation industry selling a commodity. It's something people have to have. It's not a fucking action figure or a roll of 3D filament for you to build fucking displays or whatever. It's something you have to have this. This product we make in some capacities, machinery can't run, vehicles can't move if they don't have it. We have a majority of our, I won't say a majority, we have a large portion of our inventory created in Mexico, as one does, and a less significant portion of it, but a large basket of importance that comes out of China. So my job is I manage accounts. I manage corporate relationships with corporate entities. Currently, I manage 6 of them. 3 hands-on, 3 it's just email communication, and that's it. And every time, let me dance here. I learned my lesson already from Darth Rod. The administration
there we go.
changes the tariff pricing. I have to send new price sheets out to all 6 of my customers. And there's a letter that goes with it. And at first it would be, Dear Eric, blah, blah, blah. Dear Rusty, for the next account, blah. No, they're all valued customer now. I'm not taking the time to do that anymore.
Yeah. To whom it may concern.
And this is what, the second, third, or fourth time you've had to do this in the last 60 days?
Snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap, snip. It takes a toll on a person, Darth. I'm full of them tonight.
I love it.
So, best episode of The Office, the dinner party. No doubt on that. So here's the problem, and I knew this was coming. There's 2 factors to this. Although my customer says that they are not going to take the tariffs, we're invoicing them at the price that we're selling it for.
Yeah.
So, for example, today I had a very tense call with one of my distributors because they have like 200 invoices they can't process because the numbers don't match. And, how are we going to fix this? And I'm like, I mean, the easy way to do is just take the fucking pricing, but here we are. And it's weird because the people I was talking to about this, they have no idea about the drama with not taking I'm juggling chainsaws, man. It's fucking bananas. This has made my life so stressful this year, beyond belief. it's made a lot of my interpersonal work relationships very tense for that exact reason. So it's just been very tense. So.
And you're also at times customer facing, so you have to go out to these people and see them in their face. How's that been on boots on the ground type experience?
Honestly, most people are boots on the ground. They live in the real world. You know, I'm oftentimes dealing with, and there's one particular company I deal with that I'm like, man, y'all keep pulling this same paragraph out of the playbook, you know, that your company has for this. I'm like, you've asked me the same stupid question and worded this exact stupid way 4 times. So, you know, it just depends on the relationship. Like one of my guys, we were kind of having it out not at each other, but about the situation and how our companies are dealing with it. And he's like, look, me and you understand this. We're on the sales side, but the accountants just don't understand. Like, well, it's all, you know, games and stuff. And then another portion of our business is based off a rebating system that is so complicated that I didn't understand it till I worked there a year.
Yeah.
I won't get into the weeds on it, but what you need to know is that price, that the rebate is based off our list price, that if they're not moving that accordingly, it's going to be a fucking nightmare. So now I have an AR nightmare and a rebate nightmare. And I know this is coming, but there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do about it.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
I mean, that's literally what it is, right? Like,
like he's not kidding there, right? Like it's literally changed that fast. Like, I mean, even like Dante just commented, right? He was like, last week I went to Costco, bought formula $52.99. This week it's $56.99. What the hell happened? Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, because that who knows? I mean, you know, and the crazy thing about it is, like, some parts that are made in some countries have components from other countries as part of those parts. So maybe your part coming from Mexico doesn't have a 25% tariff. It's got a 35% tariff. Plus the steel now has a tariff. So, you know,
compounded parts is a thing.
Listen, I can't use more than one special thing at once in the McDonald's app. Why are they allowed to stack all these fucking things?
The deals are getting like less and less. When I look, I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
well, I got
20%
off. It was 20% off of $12 or more. And obviously to feed my family it's more than $12.
That's a fact.
But I mean, just to vent for a minute about this, it's the lack of communication. You know, it's we're doing this tomorrow. We're doing this tomorrow. And you know, some companies I think jump the gun a little bit on implementing these changes. And expecting the customers to be able, because most corporations I deal with, they need 30 to 60 days to implement price changes.
Yep.
And we're saying this goes live on Tuesday. Next Tuesday, these go live. Yep. They can't. I mean, they can put it in, but it may take 30 days to get the review.
Well, you know what? In my opinion, I feel like in regards to a small business, it sucks, right? But in regards to the large corporations, I feel like they could absorb a little bit of that loss. Like, you know what I'm saying? These guys are making like $1 billion profits. So, okay, so you make a few billion less or $1 billion less or a few million less because of what happened. Like, okay, that's not the...
It's not ideal.
I've studied business.
Well,
that's not the point of business. The point is to always gain.
Let's talk about Walmart.
But,
let's talk about Walmart, right? Is one of the largest retailers in the country. If take out Amazon, I think they are the largest, right? They posted profits last year in the billions,
right? So can you absorb? You could absorb a loss.
Hold on a second.
What's their margin?
What's their margin?
Right.
Their margin is 2%.
Yeah.
So the moment that you post a 30% tariff on all of the goods coming from China, they're instantly upside down on all those goods, and that's
they're
a large portion
down.
of what.
That's
Walmart
the largest employer in the country.
That's right.
You're going to disrupt the entire social chain.
Yeah.
See, and interestingly enough, like when the current U.S. administration announced the tariffs against Canada, and then Canada stepped up and went, "We're going to have to do the same thing," but they said in 90 days.
Right.
They recognized the fact that
we're
not going to wreck
up.
our businesses, right, and our industries instantaneously the way that your administration just did. We're going to announce it, give them time, and understand that there's going to be a hit in the meantime, right?
Yeah.
But and I think a lot of the other countries, like the other like G20 nations and that too, that were involved in the whole, like when it spiraled out to the rest of the world, I'm pretty sure they did the same thing too, right? They gave themselves 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, right, for businesses to figure stuff out, or even find alternate sources, right, of components and whatever you want to call it, right? To maybe we don't buy from the US, right? Maybe we buy from somewhere else, that sort of thing, right? But you're right, like it's this instantaneous thing is, man.
Yeah, and I wanted to make a point back. Thank you for sharing the insight. I will say I was in, you know what, I'm not going to tell that story because it has nothing to do with tariffs. With Jose's point about companies absorbing it. I mean, I can't say I deal with some very, very large companies that you wouldn't recognize the name of, and they are just saying they're not going to pass these on to their. And they want us to let's say I sell to a middleman that sells to the middleman who sells to the end user. Hey, I'm not eating this, I'm passing it on. And you're not going to pay that price, then I'm not going to sell it to you for 30% less than I'm selling to the rest of the market because you say no. I'm just not going to send it to you anymore. Yeah. And we're getting to that point in some conversations with some of our distributor partners is, I can't sell you this for that price anymore. That's yesterday's hamburger. It is not the price of today's hamburger.
Yeah. And you also go ahead, Jose.
No, go ahead.
So what I was gonna say is that you also have to think about the last person. Well, the first person that get impacted by this is the customer, right? But the second person ultimately who will be impacted by this is the bottom end employee. Who, if these companies choose not to absorb it, which most companies cannot afford to, even if you are at a certain level, then the next thing that comes is layoffs. I mean, we just seen this. Let's take it back to toys for a second. Yep. Super 7 is not the biggest company in the world by any means, but they are a very successful toy making company. They do one thing and they do it good for them, whoever who buys that stuff. But even they
do a couple things.
I mean,
that I don't know many people who buy, but yeah.
So when you have a company who has a name like they have, who have experience in this industry like they have, has to send out a statement today that they're going to be lowering their workforce so that they can stay open or close the business down. That's huge. And that's a company who's just dealing in plastics. Think about companies like Walmart. If they can't pass this on, right? They're the largest retailer, and I consider Amazon an e-tailer, but largest retailer in the world, but especially in the United States, the largest employer in the United States. If they close stores in small towns, it wrecks that entire small town.
Yeah, because they ran off all the mom and pop shops already when they built the Walmart.
So now the ecosystem is severely hurt. So we have to think of it from that standpoint. And I'm with you, Jose. I get it. Like, these companies should be able to absorb some of it. But when you think about it from now being someone who has to mess with the numbers daily to try to make sure that we're staying profitable, not just from a foundational standpoint, but in my professional life, it's hard to do when you have these things going the way that they're going, man. So you just, these CEOs, they're the ones that make a lot of money at the top, but they do have a lot of decisions to make. And yes, you can cut their salary such and such, but that's only going to keep you open for so long if we don't come up with a long-term solution.
Well, and it does bear repeating from the first episode that we did on this, but I didn't say here, which is the reality is the hard complete pass through that I showed in that thing is not really the reality for most companies, because most companies are trying to mitigate the tariffs as much as they can. But the point, I think, overall is that because of the size of the tariffs, even at 30%, there's no way that all of it can be mitigated. So some of it has to pass through to the consumer.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, I'll give you
always going to pass through. It's always going to pass through to the consumer. Though. Like even when so all these ridiculous numbers that we got, these percentage numbers that we got, now we're at a base of 30%. That's 30 cents on every fucking dollar that we were spending before. That's on us, the people like us that are already getting squeezed. And and my question was going to be like, are you guys willing? I mean, we have no choice. If you want to stay in this hobby and buy these goods or even just your basic necessities like food or whatever, everything's increased. But our pay doesn't increase like at the rate that these goods and these services do. So at what point do we get squeezed out of all this? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
well, to the percentages point, Jose, I did want to say I'll be a little transparent here. So let's say I don't know, what do I have on my desk? Let's say that for some reason this has become the hottest trinket on TikTok, right? The extra spots of Ollie, right? So
it probably should have been on TikTok store.
Right. If I'm truly past, so long story short, the price I am going to pay, and Jose, you know exactly where I'm going with this. You know, I let's say I pay $60 to bring this in, and then I'm paying $100. Somebody help me with the math. I'm paying 30% tariff on that.
At $60, that's $18.
Okay, man, quick maths. So now if I'm selling it to you at 100, if I'm selling it to you at 100, right? So then if I pass the tariff through, how much is the tariff?
118.
It's 8. So it's 18% to you at retail, right?
Yep.
So the reason I kind of, I knew it wasn't a true pass through, and just truthfully, the price sheets I sent out when it was 145, it was 69. That was the pass through percentage. So just keep that in mind. That we are getting slapped with it, but a Hot Toys figure shouldn't cost $780.
Yeah.
Right at that. I mean, and hopefully we won't be back at that point. Hopefully that was.
And here's some more retail math for you, right? So take the $60 that you were originally selling it for $100 for. That's a 40% margin. Okay, for a retailer. Yeah. If I take the $18 in 30% tariff, right, and I pass that through to you and sell it to you at 118, that actually now I am making less money because I'm only getting 34% off of that sale.
Yeah, you're not making any profit margin off of the $18.
Correct.
Right. You're just passing the. It's just.
But I'm having to invest that money up front before the thing is ever sold.
Right.
Yeah.
And if it's just on the shelf, it doesn't sell, then it has to go on clearance to get out of there. Like just all these things that come. Not to mention your expenses, right? So I deal a lot with expenses. Being a service manager for a dealership, my department, I have expenses that I can offset 1-to-1, because if my tech doesn't turn the wrench, he doesn't get paid. So that's a 1-to-1 expense, right? So I can charge a certain amount at the door, deduct what I charge, what I pay my technician for it, and then that's where my true profit lies. But even in that, I have other employees who are hourly employees who get paid regardless, whether I sell 1 hour of labor or I sell 0 hours of labor. So think about the retailers who are paying these people to stock these shelves, and this product may or may not move for 2 to 3 weeks. They've already bought into this, and they got to pass. It's crazy when you think about it from that. So it's a lot involved in this, trying to get this profit back out of it. And this is why this could wreck the ecosystem of our financial markets, man. And
TM Reviews has a good comment in there that I think is worth
let me get it.
Sharing out too.
The McDonald's one?
Yep.
Yep.
So he says McDonald's reported a 3% loss due to consumers not spending as much eating out. So it's not just Chinese goods that are affected when the price of living goes up. That is a great point.
So
That's a great point. Jedi mindset too. The whole trickle-down effect when companies report high increases barely goes down to the people that are the boots on the ground to these companies. This is true.
Listen, Jedi mindset. Are you telling me you don't like a pizza party? Come on, man. Everybody likes a pizza party, man. A pizza party. Hey, record profit.
That's a whole lot of bullshit.
Or
more.
Some logo apparel. You need
that should be getting like that pizza party. Fucking that I get every fucking quarter. Logo. Don't make up for fucking me getting my little whatever percent fucking raise.
Hey man, you better take this pizza and this slice of pizza and shut the hell up.
You know,
or it's like, oh, here's a company logo water bottle because we ain't providing cups for the water anymore.
So that's the thing, man. Like I feel like things
pour it in my hand.
That is
pour it in my hand. Take
things should be equitable. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if employee wages would have kept up with CEO wages, we'd all be getting paid like $60 an hour, like right now.
Dude, that's
and,
a much bigger conversation than
and honestly, that's what should be happening because you know, shouldn't get it now, but it revolves around what we're dealing with now with this tariff situation, right? It's the fact that we continually get taxed on these goods and services that we consume, right? But it's the people like at the top that benefit and us that are providing the labor and are actually kind of pushing the economy forward, and we're not seeing the growth of it, right? Because we always hear when you know, stock prices are, you know, stock is market is doing well or whatever, like, are we benefiting from it? The people, you know, if you, I guess you have to be in the stock market, right? Own stock or whatever. A lot of people like aren't like attuned to that. But honestly, it should really just be that you have equitable distribution of fucking wealth, so that like employee wages keep up with the growth of the economy. And if everything was distributed kind of like equally, the people at the top could have more, but us that are fucking providing the labor and the fucking impetus for that growth in the economy.
Hey, hang on. Jose, have you ever heard of the United Soviet Socialist Republic? You're sounding like a separatist right now.
This is getting
so that we do not.
Have you ever heard the tale?
So just
Joseph Stalin.
You're 100% right, Jose, on the size of increases to the CEO level or C-suite compared to the basic worker. Like the percentages just don't work out. They've way outpaced us, right? It's a different discussion for sure, but also just to bring this back to perspective of the Walmart and the tariffs piece, right? So here's some hard numbers. So the Walmart CEO made $27 million in 2024.
I don't think I want to hear these numbers. But
yeah. 27 million.
Meanwhile, these motherfucker that's cashing me out is on welfare and
$4 million bonuses, right? $4 million bonus in 2024, as well as he would rewarded some stocks. But I'm not going to do the stocks because it's harder to piece.
That's percentage based on the market.
That 27 million plus his $4 million bonus made up 0.0017% of Walmart's total profits of $15.5 billion. And that is, again, back on 2% of the goods. So literally he could take a 75% pay cut and he wouldn't even make a dent in the tariffs.
Okay, but things would be more equitable between CEO 100%. And fucking workers that are fucking breaking their fucking backs, working fucking 16-hour fucking days, and they're still on fucking welfare and SNAP.
I am there with you all day long.
Hold on. Peace.
Make it equitable. I don't know about the company.
I agree.
Hello. Hold on. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me step in here because now we're getting a little bit to a different topic. While I understand where you're coming from, Jose, we're talking about tariffs, but we can bring that up. on a different conversation pool. I do think it's important to talk about that, and how maybe it affects us as collectors and the hobbies and stuff that we do. I think there's some meat on the bone there. But let's talk about how it affects us as collectors with the tariffs. Let's rein it back just a tad bit.
Tune in in 2 weeks where the topic will be CEOs ain't shit. So, yeah,
no. So listen, again, to bring it back to the tariff situation, the rich CEO, does it affect that person when they have to pay more for the goods and services that we all have to fucking now pay more for?
Yeah.
It doesn't affect them. It affects us.
100%.
It affects us
100%.
that we have to now pay 30% more basically on these baseline tariffs now more for these same goods and services that we were receiving before fucking
while it may not affect him directly, it does affect the people that he answers to, who are the shareholders who want to get
these motherfuckers are millionaires already, bro.
It's true. Hold on though. But in order for you to continue to, let's okay, we're gonna break down business here, right? So these shareholders need to make a profit, right? That's why they're shareholders. Let's keep it simple. In order for them to make a profit, people have to buy the stuff, correct? Right? Hello. Peace.
Yes. No, this is true, and trust me, I'm a business major. This is what I study, so I get it. But I'm not the greedy motherfucker that's like.
I understand. Hey, Jose, just follow me. Just follow me for a second. Just follow me. So if they're not making or turning a profit because either people are not buying it because they don't want the tariffs, then this is their problem, and this is a big problem for them, and that they have to handle, and they got to figure out a way to handle it.
Yeah.
And they're just as pissed as we are, because this is going to mess with their money. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but if this sticks around, this could have an immediate impact on their profits, on their quarterly earnings, their semi-annual bonus, as well as their yearly bonus. They want that money.
Avocado toast for these rich motherfuckers.
Yeah, I get it. But they have just as much of a vested interest in this, is what I'm saying. Let's take the money in equity out of it, because I agree with you. I don't think anybody's arguing with you there. But I do think they have just as much of an interest to make sure that this stuff gets handled sooner than later as the people at the bottom do, because it affects them eventually.
So ultimately, yes. But I think at the end of the day, when somebody's running a business and you get affected by these tariffs and everything that's going on with the current state of what's happening, when you're not fucking paying the people that are fucking the backbone of your business, that drive the fucking profits that you are making, these record profits that you're making fucking year after year, that provides these fucking bonuses and this and that. And I get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, take the equity out of it or whatever. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you're not like even kind of like paying those people like a living wage, should you even have the business? Do you need this business? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it's being built like on the backs of fucking people that are fucking breaking their backs and still aren't able to fucking at the end of the day.
This is the point I wanted to make. Like, dude, we all agree with you, right? You're describing everything that's currently wrong with capitalism.
But with tariffs, at the end of the day, we pay more.
Enough, right?
We pay more. We pay more at the end of the day.
If I may, I'd like to switch the topic back to toys for a second, because I'm curious, as the only guy currently in the lobby that is not being affected by this, how many of you have actually bought less collecting?
That's a great question.
I'm buying less. That was a question I wanted to ask you guys. Are you willing to absorb these extra costs in regards to your collecting? Like, are you able to absorb it? Are you doing well enough to absorb that? Or are you going to have to say, like, I'm going to have to maybe buy this and not this? I'm going to have to do
I haven't encountered any pricing, tariff-affected pricing yet on toys. And I'll probably make that decision. And honestly, if it's a spur of the moment, let's say, like, I went to Walmart the other day and this randomly had the Will Ospreay AEW figure. Honestly, I didn't even look and see how much it was. It was either probably 20. It was $20. It was 25. I was gonna buy it either way.
Okay.
I mean, you get buy what you want. Like, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like, you know.
Yeah, at the end of the day, now I might not have picked up, you know, the second one I wanted that day or whatever if they were $30, but
yeah. So I personally, I started slimming back anyway when I knew this was a possibility, only because I felt like there was going to be a flood coming. And I kind of talked about this on the sit down Saturday we did at Bobby's house, is that there's going to be a flood that's coming soon if this stays the way that it stays. At that time, there was no negotiations down to 30%. It was still the 145. So I wanted to start putting my money away. My play money is what I call it, away, so that when the flood hit, I was well prepared for it, because I knew that one day this would get worked out. But I did get asked, and I'm not going to say who the e-tailer is. He's been pretty good to me as an e-tailer. But he did say, like, hey, man, I'm getting these figures in. You guys wanted them. I have to import these. Instead of the $100, I'm paying $200 on these figures. And I'm not saying you guys have to, but if you guys could throw in a little extra to help me absorb the cost on these, it would be greatly appreciated. That conversation did just happen, and it turned a $100 action figure into $200. And he wasn't trying to pass along the price. And he's a small guy.
Yeah.
But it's happening. And it's happening in some of these places for these port areas. And for me, my heart goes out for him. So I had some extra, and I'm like, look, I don't have to do this. I know in my brain I don't have to, but this guy has been nice to me, has held stuff extra for me. Like, hey, man, I got these 2 things coming in. Just hold them both for me, and I'll just pay for them at one time. And he's done it. He's already paid for the stuff to come in, right? But like, he's done it. So I'm like, yeah, I'll help him out. But these conversations are happening across the board, and people are getting affected. But if they get at an astronomical price, I'm okay with hanging out and just not buying stuff.
And I got a second part to this question now that we're talking about it, but I'm gonna jump over to Scott. So Scott, have you slowed down in your spending, collecting? Have you, like, when you're looking at stuff?
No, did you see what he just did to that room?
I would say that my spending is transferred to some things that have been released before that I'm acquiring.
Final Tech.
Yeah, Vinyl Tech is a good example. But there's also there's a scarcity out there of stuff that's coming in. Like the ports were dried up for, and when I say dried up, that's a little bit of a hyperbolic statement.
But half the containers filled.
But there was a 30 to 40% decline in port traffic over the past month, and that's huge. And if you don't think that's not impacting our figures, you're wrong. Like, I got stuff I'm waiting for that should be here already that's not.
Yeah. Right.
Now the positive to that is I can guarantee you that even with a 30%, it's painful. There's going to be some people who are affected, but these companies that are in China, one, they're surviving by the fact that there's a rich, diverse world out there of people other than U.S. citizens. We're not the center of the universe, and they're still buying this stuff. And then two, once the shit that gets figured out here gets figured out, the guys will do a rerun of these stuff. They already do the reruns. They will definitely do the reruns when prices go down.
Or, I mean, think about these countries that's going to hold some of this stuff back, because let's face it, third-party world, right? Most of us have collected or do still collect third-party figures. That's not their only skin in the game. They make
shampoo bottles, man.
Yeah, toilet plungers and all that stuff. So they'll hold this shipment off to the side, knowing that the necessity stuff that they have to sell can get out, and they can sell that stuff later. It's not going nowhere.
So here's something to think about. Let's say and I thought about, a lot of our smaller retailers, e-tailers now that, 100% of their stuff comes from China, right?
Yeah.
I was really concerned. I'm like, what are some of these people going to do? Like, how are they going to make it through if this 145 holds? But then, you think about this. Let's say you have, I don't know, whatever the new hot third-party figure is that's just come in, and you had to pay 145 on it, and now it's sitting on your shelf, knowing you paid, let's say, $245 for this that retails 150. You're never going to get your money out of it. How much of that shit is hung out there, right?
Right.
I don't know. I also think.
Sorry, buddy. That's an interesting point, only because, again, being a person outside of the U.S., right? If I go and look for a figure that's a few months old that I missed out on. What, like AMT Rodimus is a perfect example right now, right? Because you can't really find them anywhere. So if I decide to go on the Facebook Marketplace, the groups and forums and everything else, and you guys are in the US going $400, $500, I'm gonna go, nope, I'm gonna go find it from somebody in Canada.
Sure.
Right? Because we didn't pay that much. Right? Which is another insane thing to think, that because of that tariff, that you guys are potentially paying more for a figure now than we are in Canada, even with the exchange rate.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
another
that's
piece of
time.
right?
All right, cool. So let me ask this question, because I know this question is burning in everybody's mind as well, and I don't think we've covered this at all, even in the first part. Where is this tariff money? Where's the
tariff money going?
Where's the tariff money going when it's collected? And I think that we need, if any of y'all can answer that, let's talk about that for a minute, because I'm sure a lot of people who are, really want to be interested in knowing. Let's figure out. Let's play a game called Follow the Money.
It's a tax.
Can any of you answer? Can any of you speak to that?
Yeah, it goes straight to the government's
government. The tax goes to the government. The extra amount you're paying goes to the government.
The duty and the tariff
which
both
department?
go to the government.
Federal.
Okay. And
Federal
so
government.
what are they? And they're using that money to do what?
Pay all the federal
knows?
funding that's going on.
If you're
Are they
asking for a specific account, like what account does it go into and what does it pay out to?
That's a whole other that's a whole other podcast discussion.
It goes into a pool that all the other revenue for the U.S. government goes into.
So according to
that was, go ahead.
According to Chat GPT, tariff dollars collected by the which is the new Google. Let's be honest. Tariff dollars collected by the U.S. government go into the general fund of the U.S. Treasury. This is the same pool of money that funds a wide range of federal government activities, including you name it. So it goes into the slush fund that I'm sure it's going to be huge amount of money in there.
What we can all rest assured about is that it is not going to a new Air Force One.
Yeah. So I
it's
do
being used
right,
to finance the government's bullshit that they're actually doing right now. And that's why people are being brought into these meetings to be held accountable for the things that they're doing. This is the money that they're spending. So is it safe to say that that's what's going on, and that's what that whole tip is that whole tip is about?
Well, I mean, I don't think we know, right? Like, so that money that's coming in, again, you'll never know because
you don't know where it's going. There's so many
impossible to audit the
government. So
government.
many appropriations as far as like funds, as far as taxpayer funds are diverted to, that there's no way of knowing when you have something in a big pot where that allocation is going. But I do feel bad for the small retailers that have to deal with the uncertainty, like of the, okay, it's 135% today. And now, like, what happens if you pay that for your goods that you imported, and then now 2 days later, the shit goes down to 30%. And you basically fucking paid that for nothing. Like, so for the businesses, especially the smaller ones, especially a lot of the ones that we deal with this third party collecting, it sucks for them. It sucks for them when they have.
We're getting nothing out of that, and that's my whole point.
Us as collectors have the choice to wait this stuff out and not really have to purchase anything, because right now I'm mainline or whatever. But when I start seeing deluxe class figures going for 30 and 35, you know what? Like, then I'm gonna make a choice to be like, I don't know if I'm gonna stay in this game or not. You know what I'm saying?
Do you want to buy McDonald's, or do you want to buy that action figure?
Instead of 4 figures for 100, you getting 3 for 100.
There's eventually going to get to the point where we get priced out for like what you're willing to pay for, and then maybe you're willing to pay $100 for a certain quality of an action figure that you're gonna get at that point in time. But it's not gonna be what we were getting now, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, where it was like, hey, we were paying fucking $100 or $150 for things that we're paying fucking $200, $250, $300 for now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Ladies and gentlemen, there's no such thing as extra value meals no more. Stop going to McDonald's, go to the grocery store.
bro, I missed the fucking. I don't know if y'all had the bundles in your area. I could get a fucking double cheeseburger and a 6-piece nuggets for fucking $3. Where did that fucking go?
Yeah, exactly. So it don't exist no more. It's gone.
Yeah.
All right, listen. Damn. I got one quick question, just by a show of hands. Who has bought a figure recently that has gotten a bill alongside of it that had to do with the tariffs? Anybody? Nobody.
Yeah, the jazz that you just showed.
I'm waiting this shit out, bro.
Oh, yours showed up with a bill, an extra bill.
Oh, I had to pay it when I hit the checkout.
Oh, that's right. Oof. Yeah, yours did at checkout. I remember that.
Man, I just thought of a great new text scam. You have a tariff bill you need to pay. Enter your credit card here.
Okay, so what I'm getting from you guys then is that the stuff that you are buying from U.S. retailers. You are not buying from Shozy, having it shipped over, and then all of a sudden, boof, you got a tariff bill at the same time.
That what Scott did.
Listen, there's a reason why you're getting an all-American rock box this year.
That is fair.
I wasn't gonna roll the dice, man. What if we ordered, you know, the figure from Keith, and then here we are sitting on, hey guys, I need another $145 a piece from you. I'm not, no, it's not worth the risk. So somebody said something about waiting. I said this a long time ago. We probably put it on a t-shirt, but patience saves pockets.
Yeah,
because if you can't get it later for what you want to pay for it, then
honestly, that
you can always get it. It's just going to be expensive.
Yeah,
Mike Kincaid at when you need him.
Yeah.
Until they re-release it.
Yeah, I already hit them up.
You know.
Yeah, that's true. And I think with that, guys, this is probably a good place to go ahead and end it, man. I think we did it. Part 2. Although it did get a little colorful, I think I like it. I like it.
Slightly off top.
We need some impassioned conversation from time to time.
I like it.
But it's good.
Some of us like spicy food.
It becomes informative over time, and that's why we have these discussions. I don't know. Do you think we're going to need a part 3 just to go?
No, I think we can beat that dead horse. Unless something drastic changes.
Check in and
people are asking.
We need
to check in 90 days.
And I'm paying $50 for a deluxe class figure. Yeah, we're gonna fucking talk about this again.
We'll see. Let's see how the like Pinkerton said. We'll check in 90 days and see how the climate is.
Yeah,
how the climate is. All right, man. Well, let's go ahead and get ready to go around StreamYard for the last time of the evening. Get some where you at, some shout outs, and I think everybody can call it a night.
Dante Bio is feeling me. He's feeling me.
He's been on it all in the chat, man. I couldn't put all that up here. Relax. I didn't put it on the screen for a reason. Let's relax. All right. Well, let's start with our special guest co-host for the night, Mr. Chris Pinkerton. If you're nasty, why don't you tell the people where they can find you?
Hey, you can find me at CRASHBOX Customs all across the fruited plain. Shout out to Rick D's. Pinkerton on Instagram. I post in my stories. That's all I post. Chat Squad's on fire tonight.
Chat Squad is absolutely on fire right now. They're just letting us have it. It's amazing. Anyway, keep going, buddy.
I thanks for having me on. This was a good conversation. I think we all shared some interesting points of view about how, from kind of top to bottom, this is affecting every aspect of our lives. But so maybe we'll have a recap in 90 days. I'm kind of hoping we don't need to do it, but who knows? We might be chasing each other around with sticks by then. But thanks for having me on, guys.
Thanks for being here, man. Thanks for being here. Jose, man.
Yo, Harrican BX. All over social media. Also on Instagram at DS4Fitness. You can find me every single Monday night with my ETR crew. Woo-hoo. And occasionally here with my Tuesday night brethren. Thank you for having me, guys. Sorry, I'm passionate. I'm a little, I'm sipping. So, that's how we do. So love you all. Mwah. Be safe, and I'll see you next time.
All right. Rusty.
I am the Rusty Mechanic. You can find me on all your social media platforms as the Rusty Mechanic, except for Twitter. You guys know why. So you can find me on YouTube as the Rusty Mechanic Transforms, the Rusty Mechanic Drives. Now that motorsports season is in, you'll see lots more videos from me on that in my Mini and my Cobalt. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on what else? I don't even know anymore.
Instagram,
TikTok,
Threads, Blue Sky, Lemon 8, that weird
all that,
Chinese
sure.
TikTok.
Sure. And please come check me out. And again, I hope you guys are enjoying the new format of the review videos that I'm doing. I'm going to try and keep up with them as much as possible. I got a ton of stuff behind me that I need to get into. So please go check me out on all of those spaces.
Sir.
Yes,
and remember, we got to strip you naked and walk you through the Canadian province chanting shame.
Naked. What you do in the comfort of your own home,
giveaway,
sir, is none of my business.
Esteban was on his head.
Hey, literally, I gotta tell a story. Literally, Heather just walked in. She's like, "Strip you naked? What are we doing?"
Betty. Boom, boom, Betty.
She wants to be involved.
Game of Thrones. Just tell her.
Put down the maple syrup and walk away, sir. That's not your moose. That's not your moose.
Oh my God. Fun night, guys. Darth Rod, where can they find you?
Well, I am Rusty Mechanics Mini Me. So you can find me at Mini Me Rusty Mechanic on Instagram and Facebook. And no, I'm just kidding.
What is happening right now?
Hold on. When this start?
X Bane Reese X. That's me. And that's where you'll find me on all the socials except for Facebook and Facebook Scott Marble. And that's it.
Scott, right?
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yes, sir. Derek.
You can find me, Derek B, on your Book of Faces. You can also find me on Instagram as Derek What B. You can also find me here every other Tuesday as we transform your Tuesday for Do You Even Transform, Bro? And of course, you can definitely find me every Monday night where I bring you your obit news. Try to. Sure. You know, y'all been really kicking my ass lately.
Robot news,
it's all right.
Transforming fucking robot news. Yeah. Hey, I don't know. I was defending
related to Transformers, whether they transform or not. I'm reporting it on Monday nights. ETR, the best part of your Mondays.
I was talking about that
every Monday. Yeah, I know, right? Good, you know? Hey, yo, Jose, you know, you already know. So get it. so yeah, that's me.
Yeah, man. And for me, that's Eric B. In your Facebook groups, Eric Burgess, Instagram, Mr._EW82. You can find myself, Mark Board, my wife putting in work for Kennedy's Village all across every platform. That's at Kennedy's Village and kennedysvillage.org if you want to check out our website. Don't forget to check out Rusty's Facebook page where he's been running raffles for Kennedy's Village. Oh. Nothing this month, but
sorry,
keep your ear to the ground, man. He got you for next month. He's been doing a great job.
You know what I'm gonna give away? I'm gonna give away guaranteed this guy's being given away. He's gonna be given away.
Yes, sir. Hey, yo, Scott, stay up the chat. But you can also find me once a month on Bobby's Patreon, where I do a show with Scott, Bobby, called Now and Then. You can find me.
Oh yeah, I do a show with Bobby too. Sorry.
Yes, you do. Nerd Rage. Shout out to those man. You got it, dude. I love that show.
Man, I keep forgetting you're on that. Like I hear your voice, I keep forgetting that you're on that show. It's anyway, whatever.
Yeah, I'm the
caught up
Alabama guy.
Yeah,
Alabama man.
Starting next month, Herrick and BX, Derek, and the Rust Mechanic will be starting their own podcast because screw all you guys. Okay. Not inviting the rest of us. That's fine.
It's all good, man. It's all good. But that's pretty much for me, man. And I think with that, guys, we can be out of here.
Derek has something to say.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh,
he better.
Oh, let me get my fingers on the button.
You're gonna have to make something on.
Yeah, watch this guy.
All right. Till next time, keep your energon levels high, your alt modes clean, and if you're ever hiding from the IRS, consider transforming into a Delaware LLC. Even Megatron doesn't understand those tax laws. Peace.
All right, that's a good one. I'll give you that one.
Say it with me now.
round.